Yeah, of course. We're playing against top teams, along this tournament, and it's going to be an exciting one with a new coach, a new system, new identity. So yeah, it was exciting for me to go through these challenges with a group that I know well, and was really looking forward to coming in here.
What was it like starting with those two friendlies, but then obviously Argentina, three quality South American teams?
Yeah.
What's it been like facing those types of players?
Yeah, it was good. It's an experience that as a professional, everyone wants to play those kind of games. So yeah, I was lucky enough to be part of it and try to embrace it, learn as much as I can. And I think the good thing is that the team really grew in each one of those games. And yeah, we're on a good path right now.
What do you notice when you go up against, whether it's a Griezmann, whoever it is? What do you notice about the level that changes with those types of players?
Yeah, I would just say the small details. It's not like a night and day between us and them. It's more so, maybe with them they're more on target about the small things, the basics that they do right every time, or maybe we'll do it right, 9 or 8 times out of 10. So I think that was the biggest takeaway. The small things that they do it every single time. They don't. You don't see many straight passes or sloppiness, and then obviously the decisiveness that they have was really a learning curve for us, knowing that at the highest level the smallest mistakes you're going to be punished, and for us on the other way that when we get the smallest chances we have to take them. So I think that was the biggest takeaway from playing those games.
Do you start to feel more comfortable game to game as you see France and then you see Messi? And
yeah.
I guess not much compared.
I don't know if you would say comfortable, because players like that, teams like that, they always keep you on your toes. So I don't know if comfortable would be the words, but it's more like aware of, as I said, the small things. You have to do them right. We have to shift all the time. We have to push. We have to make sure we're clean on the ball. We have to make sure set pieces were good. So it's really every part of the game that you have to be good against these top teams. So yeah, we learned from that and we took it forward and kept building on it. And I think we got to a good point to where we are now.
As a defender, I know obviously you're striving for perfection, I'm sure, but if someone had offered you 8 clean sheets, halves out of 10 in those 5 games, that's a pretty good record against the type of opponents you've had.
Yeah, it's not bad, but what we found as well is that in those, I don't know how many halves you said, it was 10 halves? Yeah, in those 8 or 10 halves, whatever you want to call it, there's also things we can be better at and we can improve on. So I think that's the exciting part, where you can say, we've been solid, we've been good in so much of this tournament, but there's still work to be done, which means that our limit is really a lot higher than what it is now, and that's exciting because going forward, we know that we're going to have to be good both going forward and defensively.
What has struck you most about Jesse Marsch as a coach so far in the time you've had with him?
I think just how quickly he's been able to get the guys to understand his type of play and how he wants us, using our qualities, using our strengths. He's been really a lot of detail into, what he expects from each one of us. He's pushing us right away. He's very, very demanding, but in a good way, where, we have time to have fun, to have a laugh, but also time to lock in and get focused when it comes to the important things that we have to be on top of. So I think that's what really, surprised me, but I noticed from his coaching style that he's really on top of things, and the small details matter.
When a coach comes in and gives you a run of games like this, does it give you a feeling of, you have his trust and confidence as well? Yeah,
I think of course, when you come in and the coach, he's been very positive with me, he's been positive with a lot of the guys, but as you said, when you get a good run of games and you see that, not only the team is improving, but you're improving individually, it gives you confidence to try and to give back on the pitch and to really give your all and fight for this jersey like we always do.
How's it been playing with Moyes and how that partnership has kind of developed?
Yeah, it's been really good. We didn't have, I don't know if it's even one game before this camp together, but I think he's an intelligent player and we've been able to understand each other well. And then we've gone through video together. We've sat down together talking about the things that we want to improve on, where we need to be aware of what the threats of the opposition are, and I think we've been able to take in what we've been told and apply it well in the game. And then I think as we've played more and more together, it's been easier and easier to play together.
What's that like? Because obviously a lot of people talk about strike partnerships and the understanding between those two players. As centre backs, how do you kind of develop that, especially when you're thrust into a lot of games in a short space of time like this?
Yeah, I think it's just trust, it's trust, because a lot of how we play, it's not necessarily like, one guy does this or another guy does that. It's kind of like, if I'm shifting, I need to trust that he's got my back, and when he's shifting, he needs to trust that I have his back. And it's really, sometimes it can be tricky because you may not have that full trust when you haven't played with someone for so long, but I think we just, we were open to it, and we really developed trust in each other quickly. And then we know that, when one's stepping, another one has to cover, when one's dropping, maybe another one is stepping. So I think it's that trust that you need to be willing to accept and to have with your defensive partner. And all around the pitch, we're building those relationships and that trust, so it's good.
Is communication a big part of it between the two of you as well, especially with players like Milan and Steven, obviously the big leaders for this team?
Yeah, I think of course they've been a big part of it, or it's been a big part of it, the communication. I think not only between me and Moyes, but the whole team, it's Jesse likes to talk about, it's the relationships on the pitch, or a goalkeeper talk with his center backs talk with each other, and the sixes and the fullbacks. So I think he's really hyped that a lot coming into camp, that we need to, have personality on the pitch, be very communicative, talk to each other, help each other out there. So I think we just tried to apply what he said, and that obviously helps us on the pitch as well.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about Sweden as well, and how that experience has been for you. It's been, obviously we love seeing players succeed at home in North America, but there's a lot of great stories of guys going abroad and finding their place. And do you kind of feel like you found it with Malmo? Yeah,
I think my time in Malmo till now has been really good. We've won a league, we've won a cup, and I felt like I've grown a lot as a player and as a person. So I think as a professional, that's what you want in any club situation. So I think, it was a good move for me, and I keep looking to develop and be the best version of myself that I can be.
Does a club like that, kind of the expectations of you need to be winning leagues, you're expected to win every week, has that helped you?
I think it has, because when you play at a club like that, it's such a passionate fan base, and the fans expect, as you said, to win every game, to win every league, to win every cup. So I think that allows you to then know how to handle pressure, know how to play in big games. And I think that's what I've been able to show here now, is that when we have big games against top opponents, that you know how to handle those sort of moments. So I think definitely that's been a major part in my growth as a player.
You have an interesting coach who's caught some attention for his style of play, I think, in Europe. What's it been like playing with him?
Yeah, very similar, because his attention to detail is another level. The amount of meetings that we've had, we see each other every day. We still have meetings every day, back lines, center backs, full team meetings. We really dissect almost every single play or movement. So I think that also just goes to show that if you want to be successful, then everything matters. But yeah, it's been a joy playing for him, and he's definitely pushed me to develop my game and to be the best version I can be.
How would you say are kind of some of the main areas you think that your game has come along over the past couple of years in particular?
It's hard to say, because it goes by quickly. But I just think I've tried to grow as a leader mostly. When I was younger, I tried to really learn from the guys around me. I had really good, big names around me coming into camp, and I tried to absorb and take as much lessons as I can from them. And then now at 26, I try and really maybe help out guys around me. Moyes is a couple of years younger than me, but I try and be the best leader I can for him, and then obviously try and just push myself to be the best player I can be. And I think when you feel that extra sense of responsibility, you know that you have a bigger role to play, and then your game elevates from there. So I think that's the main thing that I've changed or developed in is growing that sense of leadership and responsibility in the team.
Does it give you extra satisfaction as well, just on a personal level, that we saw you were there through World Cup qualifying, just having to wait for the minutes to come, and now it feels like that's starting to bear fruit all the time that you put into it?
Yeah, I mean, it's gone by quick. We have a great team, the guys, it's not just the starters, it's really a 26-man job for this whole entire tournament, and everyone's important. The coach loves to stress that. So I knew that, even during the qualifying campaign, I may not have gotten as much minutes, but, I know that I had a role to play, and I needed to still be at the best of my abilities. And I think when you come and play for your country, it's mostly about just, giving the best that you can bring and making sure that the team goes as far as they can go, no matter what role you're given. It's time to put the egos to the side and you put the team first when you come to play for your country.
Noticed as well, just lastly, a few goals in your time in Sweden. Is that maybe a target for the rest of the tournament here?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I would have gotten one already, but as a defender, my job is always to defend and keep clean sheets. But I do love a goal, so I wouldn't mind getting one. But yeah, I've been able to get a couple in Sweden, and would love to get one for my country as well.
Thank you, Derek.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.